I love that the Final Five won the most Olympic medals of any U.S. women's gymnastics team ever. And our gymnastics team was so dominant that Kevin Durant told me he wants to play for them next year.
Come on, that's a funny joke.
That's funny.
That's freaking funny.
I got to see the reaction.
His reaction's stone face. I think we have it up on CSN.
Come on. I mean, KD, you have to laugh at that. You can't laugh at a good
Hey,
joke.
well,
Can you put that up on the Facebook? Just put Durant's face. Go to facebook.com/thejunks.
All right, hold on. I missed some of that at the end. KP was talking over it. Play it again.
And I got to tell you, I don't think he'd start for that team, Kevin. Yeah. Russell Westbrook, what do you think?
Even bringing Westbrook into the fray.
All right,
Come on, that's funny.
I got to see that.
I mean,
that's pretty
KD,
funny.
you can't laugh at that. You can't laugh at a swipe at your expense.
He has to have thought that was funny. I think he was just doing a bit.
I think he was a little bit Rick.
He knows the camera's on him. I mean, come on. He's been hearing that for a year.
Right.
Yeah, but they're not used to it in front of thousands of people live, millions of people watching it, getting joned on. They're not used to it.
Back when this show debuted, Michael Jordan's Bulls had just won their third consecutive championship. Simone Biles wasn't even born yet. And I still had my original neck. And this anniversary show is going to be different because the ESPY Awards are being hosted by a former athlete. Yep, the ESPYs finally got it right this year because normally some comedian or entertainer or Matthew Perry comes up here and just tears the athletes to shreds. Okay, I know what some of y'all are thinking, right? John Cena hosted the ESPYs last year, and he's an athlete. Yeah. John Cena is an athlete the same way that Ryan Lochte is a reliable witness. Okay. It's just not an accurate statement,
He's killing
right?
it.
Phelps,
Jason
am I right?
loves
I'm right.
it.
Yeah. Thank you, Phelps. Yeah. I forgot about these now.
Can you pause it real quick?
Pause.
What did you watch last night? So I think it was
hold
on ABC, by the way.
I got questions. I know it was. I got questions. Was Lochte in the audience? Was Phelps?
I'm going to guess Lochte wasn't there.
Okay, Phelps, because he mentioned Phelps.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis couldn't believe how dysfunctional Madison Square Garden, and that dude grew up in Latvia. What a terrible year for the Knicks. They had to a former out of the building for acting like a crazy person. Then there was that whole thing with Charles Oakley.
Oh, pause. He's not stumbling or bumbling. I mean, he's a pro.
No, he's got a really good delivery.
He's comfortable.
Yeah.
Can you
He's
run
got very good delivery.
Can you
now,
run it
he
back?
didn't write any of these jokes.
No,
I don't care.
But,
I don't care.
But it is.
He's
it doesn't
delivering
matter.
them.
Yeah, like you can have them written for you, but you can stumble and bumble on the delivery and just pummel the
delivery
jokes.
is much more important than the writing.
Yeah, Cakes would know.
You think
Did a
Peyton-
stand-up.
You think Peyton would
And that was
prepare?
written by Valdez.
Hey, I know he would prepare. Go back to the Latvia comment. Joke again. I like that. With Kristaps.
That was a good joke.
That makes me laugh.
Kristaps Porzingis couldn't believe how dysfunctional it is at Madison Square Garden, and that dude grew up in Latvia. What a terrible year for the Knicks. They had to escort a former legend out of the building for acting like a crazy person. Then there was that whole thing with Charles Oakley.
Was that a Phil Jackson?
Of course,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
Phil
about Phil
Jackson
Jackson.
thing. I love it.
That's good.
That is
You got more?
And I'm here to celebrate sports, and it's been an amazing year full of stories that I loved. I love that the Chicago Cubs finally won the World Series after 108 years.
You know he's not going to mention the Patriots.
I love that Sidney Crosby led the Pittsburgh Penguins to the Stanley Cup for the second year in a row.
Yuck.
And I love that Serena Williams won the Australian Open while carrying a child. I mean, that's even more impressive than 2 years ago when the Denver Broncos defense won the Super Bowl while carrying me. That's right. Yeah. And finally, because I'm being forced to say it, I love that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won their 5th Super Bowl. All right. Enough of that crap. Enough of that, all right? Enough of that. But, you know, I really do feel for the Falcons because, you know, I've been there. I know how tough it is to lose the Super Bowl, but I'm telling you, I believe in the Falcons. I believe in Matt Ryan, Dan Quinn, and I know in my heart the Falcons will be back, right? The Falcons will be back. And I want the Falcons to hear that from me now, at the beginning of the show, because I know they'll stop paying attention 3/4 of the way in. It's just kind of what they seem to do. Devontae Freeman, don't leave yet. Stay with me. There's a lot of show left.
That's great.